Citizens, what's up? It's President Awall here bringing you daily Star Wars Force Arena content. I've made a deck that works really well for 1v1 and 2v2 with Dengar, and this is different than the one I brought you on the channel recently. I have swapped out the MTV-7 light vehicle in lieu of ATST. Per your feedback, my MTV-7 light vehicles were getting converted by Ben Kenobi way too often, which just completely screwed me over, and it was insta-GG when Kenobi was converting those. And once I got above the 3200 mark, there was a lot of Luke decks that had that unique on board. Got rid of that. I also put in the Rocket Stormtrooper instead of regular Stormtrooper into this deck, and it's something that's been performing very, very regularly on a very high level for me, hard countering those MLC3 light tanks that you see in every single Rebel deck. In addition to that, obviously, applying additional pressure on the enemy structures, and there's a turret strategy that's sort of going around right now, and this card hard counters that as well. So overall, this Dengar deck, I'd like to call this a counter deck, and that's really the closest thing I can say to describe what this deck does. You've got 4 LOM as well as Bladesman as your single target damage option. One is melee, one is ranged. You've got Sand Trooper and Probe Droid, area of effect damage. One is melee, one is ranged, essentially. And then I've got one infantry and one mech building focused card, and then of course I've got one card that directly counters enemy armor, and stun grenade hard counters heroes. So I've got a counter to literally everything that any enemy can possibly throw at me. Let me make sure my volume level is good. We're good. I've just been doing random 2v2s. This deck has been working out pretty well for that. I feel that this, me playing random 2v2s and demoing this deck, or demoing any deck in random 2v2s for that matter, more accurately reflects what it's like for you guys to possibly play the deck. Because when you're teaming up with an ally, maybe you have a strategy that you talked about offline, and you guys can make, decks that have a lot more synergy with each other when you're looking to do 2v2s with a friend, as opposed to creating a deck that's going to work generally well in 2v2 situations, and you're going to be able to hold your own. And if you're really going to be successful in the long run in 2v2s, you not only need to be able to hold your lane, you also need to be so efficient at holding your lane that you can throw some supporting units and some supporting energy, if you will, into your ally's lane or up that mid lane if the enemy decides to do a mid lane push. And that requires lots of efficiency, and what I found probably most importantly is that it requires you to have the most efficient counters to what rebels are throwing out there as often as possible. That might sound really obvious, but a lot of people throw units in their deck that they're like, this is really awesome. I'm killing heroes. Maybe I can get a really big mob going, whatever. And, this synergizes really well with this that I have on my deck, and they're focusing on themselves, and they're focusing on their own deck and what synergizes with their own deck. And what I've found, and this has helped me accelerate by about 800 rating points recently in total, within the last 48 hours. I've stopped thinking about what synergizes with my own deck and which units synergize with each other in my deck, and I'm thinking about which cards do I need to pick that will just directly counter whatever I'm seeing out there from Rebels. What is the most efficient counter? And now that I've started thinking that way, and I've started sort of playing with counters as the main thing that I have in mind, it's been working fairly well so far. I mean, fingers crossed, it's been working fairly well. Hopefully I'll be able to keep this going, of course. I'm going to throw ATST up this side lane. If they're going to get really aggressive like this in the mid, I'm going to drop down Rocket here. Looks like I don't need to. I thought that this was going to be a full-blown rush strategy up the mid lane, and it's not. So let me see if I can get rid of some of these Twi'leks that are dealing damage to my ATST. But it looks like I'm going to be able to drop this tower down to half health. Going to drop Probe there on the left lane. Looks like my ally needs a little bit of help over there, and hopefully that'll be able to clear out some of this fodder. Looks like mid lane they're going for a pretty interesting little push strat here. Looks like I overcommitted to this mid lane a bit. But if she decides to come in here, look at this, the 4 LOM with that 4 LOMmy damage. That's what I'm talking about. 4-LOM is so gross. I hope that's not a gonk droid. It is a gonk droid. Damn it. Oh, that gonk droid. So annoying. Okay, I'm going to drop down my rocket trooper here and see if I can get any pot shots in. One pot shot plus an ATST. That's pretty cool. I'm definitely going to die. Looks like my ally dropped an ATST here, and we'll be able to pick up that turret, but this game is far from over. Somebody said GG earlier. I don't know what they were talking about. They're not playing the same game I am. This game is well within winning range of this rebel opponent. They can easily pick this one up. So, gonna drop 4-LOM out here actually as a tanking option. Okay, there we go, and we're gonna be able to push up this lane. There's this sniper over here that's doing some really annoying damage, so I'm gonna take them out. Hopefully I won't die embarrassingly. There we go. And this is a great situation for probe. As you can see, I'm getting a little bit of lag right now. That's not typical. That's not typical for me on my internet connection. 2v2 lag has been common for me, and let me know if you guys have been seeing something similar. But I think it's because you've got 4 mobile phone connections trying to connect with each other in a PvP game. Like, that's got to be extremely difficult for Netmarble to pull off. And I'm going to drop down Rocket Trooper here. I'm going to do a sneaky right side push and see if I can get some big damage in here quickly. And let me see if I can stun these heroes. And I'm just getting wrecked from behind there. That's fine. But applying pressure to that mid, they're down to about half health on that structure. We've only lost 1 structure so far. The sniper is becoming a huge pain in the butt, so I'm going to deal with him. And going to drop Sand Trooper along the side to deal with any mob units that are coming down that side lane. And this Rocket Trooper should help me take out this tank, but this is actually going to be kind of rough. This is going to be kind of rough to defend on my own. I don't know what my ally is doing here. He is like going FTW on their base, and it looks like he was able to pick it up, or the timer ran out. I actually wasn't paying attention. I'll have to watch this VOD afterwards. Oh man, I should have been paying attention. I was just so focused on defending against that giant push that was bearing down on us there in the bottom. But as you can see, I've got really nice counters to most of what Rebels can throw at me with this deck, and I've been pretty happy with its performance so far. I think that Bladesmen definitely are, and the more I use them, the more it confirms that they are the best counter to MLC3 Light Tank, but also the Stormtrooper, the Rocket Trooper, is a nice bit of supplementary damage. Simply because you can drop Bladesmen sometimes, and if the enemy hero is there, or they quickly deploy something like a Grenadier, Grenadier? You guys said it was pronounced Grenadier? I don't know. They die instantly. And your rocket Trooper, however, can stand way back and just fire and just do consistent damage to those armored structures, or those armored tanks, and it does really well. So let's go ahead and try up some 2v2 queuing here and see what we can get. There we go. No, not 1v1. Alright, whatever. Well, I'll just show you guys some 1v1. Did you guys see that? That was weird. I've been getting queue issues recently. Like, I've been teaming up in guilds, and it'll just tell me that I'm on standby. I'm like, what? What do you mean I'm on standby? And so I'll reset my game. I'll restart my tablet. I'll do the whole 9, and it'll be like, nope, you're standing by for a game. And so it's just like, basically I'm just like stuck in queue somehow, which is whatever. So I'm going to drop down Probe Droid here. I'm just going to stun him and let him know that I'm the boss, and drop down some Sand Troopers here as well. These should be able to wreck everything he's got on the ground pretty effectively. Those Rebel Pathfinders, though, are actually a pretty decent counter. And there is the MLC3 Light Tank, friends. So here's where we drop the Blade, here's where we drop the Probe, here's where we drop the Grenade. We go all in here to make sure that we take this out. And we've got a decent amount of firepower on the ground. I'm going to see if I can kill his hero. Got him. And I'm going to see if my units can push forward and do some damage to this tower. Looks like 4-LOM got a decent amount of work done, but he's not going to make up the kind of missed progress that we got, that they were able to push in there with their light tank, which is a real shame. That's a real pain in the butt. So we'll see what is he doing. I'll drop down Sand Trooper here, and that should be able to take out his honor guards pretty effectively. And not sure what he's doing. He's got a sniper here? I'm just going to drop ATST and go in on this. Not going to play around. See if I can get some serious tower damage in on this. And he did run away. Really, really smart for him to run away. Those Pathfinders did a great job of countering that ATST. Really good stuff. My probe droid, though, should be a really efficient clear. And they are. And with 4 LOM here, we should be able to defend against this pretty decently. I'm going to use my stun grenade and then my regular grenade combo, which does a great job of clearing stuff out. I don't want to get close to Polar Bear with a minigun because he's so incredibly dangerous. And I'm going to see if I can move in here. Nope, not going to be able to move in yet. A less experienced me would have moved in that situation and just gone for the win. But I have learned that is something that punishes me. I get punished so hard when I do that, and I need to be very, very careful. So I'm going to drop down Rocket Trooper way out of position, unfortunately. That sucks. So I'm going to have to back, and damn, I died. This tank will be able to move in. 4 LOM, finish the tank. Yes! Thank you, 4 LOM. I love you so much. And there's the Blade Master, and we just need to get in here and counter this push. We can't let him pick this one up. He's going to try to pick this up before the timer runs out. So I need to get hyper aggressive and take down this turret. I can't play around. I'm going to drop my grenade on it. Bam, it's done. Now I'm going to go into full defensive positioning here. And, okay, the best way in that situation to go into full defensive positioning is to drop your ATST, actually, and just let it start walking the other way. None of his units will be able to move forward on your structure, and they will just follow your ATST. Good game. All the way up the lane, and it'll force their hero to come in and actually pressure your structure. Alright, let's see what we got here. Ooh, play pack. Let's just open that up, and then I'll try to bring you one more 2v2 game, and see if we can show that to you. That was actually my intention, is to show you a 2v2 game. Ooh, I picked up an ATST. Sweet. Let me do one more 2v2. See what we can do here. So you're getting a little bit of variety in gameplay. But, yeah. This is the Path to Kyber series, friends. It's been going very well recently, simply because I don't know if it's just Dengar matching my playstyle, or what, but I've been able to do this sort of defensive then counter push strategy with Dengar, and it's been working really, really well. Dengar is just such a well-balanced hero that gets underplayed, totally underplayed. You don't see many Dengars out there at all. And he's got decent single target damage, he's got decent area of effect damage, and he's got a built-in comeback mechanic where if you're behind, his damage goes up and he becomes a beast on single target damage. And his companion 4 LOM, I'd say, is maybe one of the top 5 best companions in the game. He's certainly the best hero-killing companion in the game. And that's what I need him to do. I've built my deck around the fact that I have 4 LOM available to do that hero killing. So, I don't know. I'm digging it. And it's going to be hard for me to switch off of this because this is such a well-balanced deck. As you can see, you saw that a moment ago. It said that, oh no, it was switching arenas. I think that's what it was doing. Yeah, but queue times for 2v2 have been a little bit longer recently, especially for Empire. But in 1v1s, my Empire queue times have been lower. Let me know what you guys have been seeing. But many of you guys have been posting in the comments on my channel saying that, you know, Empire's weak. They suck. I can't play them even though I want to. I'm trying to bring you as many Empire videos as possible. You guys have told me many times that you want a Callus deck or you want to show me, show viable Empire decks. This is the viable Empire deck that I'm playing right now. It's really, really working, and this proves, I feel, that Rebel is not the only viable faction in this game. And we'll see if I can continue to push with this as I move up. We'll see, but I don't know. It's working for now. Alright, so let's see what kind of strategy they have here. And I think that's the nature of any PvP game, right? What's the meta that's working right now? That's really all you can be concerned with. Anything beyond that, I'm going to drop the ATST Walker right back here. They ended up dropping what would be the majority of their counters, actually, to what I was throwing out. Let's see, this Lando is going to try to get away. Wow, did you see how long it took that stun to deploy? That took thousands of years for that stun to deploy. That was ridiculous. Holy crap. I don't know. This is some pretty serious lag here, guys. And all 4 connections, we're getting folks from every nation of the world playing this game. And it requires all of us, all of our connections to work in unison with each other. And sometimes that results in some significant input lag. So keep that in mind when you're building your decks. Seriously. Like, very much. Keep that very much in mind. Because if your deck requires too much microing and you're looking to 2v2 with it, oh my gosh, really, it's going to focus me? You're looking to 2v2 with it, then you are going to be sorely disappointed when the 2v2 experience is less than optimal, let's say. And sometimes my 2v2 experience is spot on, and it just depends, right? If I'm teaming up with somebody in my guild, it helps out a significant amount, because that's one person that's kind of guaranteed to be here in North America, and so there's not any connection issues necessarily as a result of that. But there you go. There's the W. Just a quick W, just pushing in on their base. ATST, just wrecking stuff. So this deck's working, guys. This is yet another variation on this Dengar deck. So many of you guys are asking me, only plus 14 there? They must have been significantly lower level. Let's take a look at their decks. Their cards look pretty good. They're like very comparable to mine. They've got, well, that one guy didn't. He had like level 7s and stuff. The guy below him though had level 9s and 8s. That's not bad. Anyway, you guys are asking what the replacement is potentially for LOM on this deck. I can tell you that you can replace him with Stormtroopers. That's probably a good replacement. It's not as good, but it's pretty good. You can also replace him with Dioxis Grenade. And if you're feeling cheeky and like you can pull off some sick micro, Energy Net. Energy Net crushes. You use the Energy Net, pulls everybody together in one spot, click your grenade, or let that Sand Trooper blast him with that huge 224 attack power, or drop a probe droid in the middle of it, and you can blow some stuff up with that combo. Anyway, that's the deal. Throw my avatar on the screen. Be sure to subscribe, and thank you to everyone who has turned on notifications on the channel. Notification Squad, I love you. Videos over there. Click those. Watch more of my Star Wars Force Arena content. And a big thanks to all of you who are posting my videos on the Star Wars Force Arena subreddit. Thank you. Please keep doing that. I really appreciate it. Adios, amigos.